Yay. We won. It's where they broke the connector for the power line. Alright, so a sentinel tower. Cost to shoot, energy is 0. Physical damage. How is its cost to shoot -0? That's interesting. Physical damage is 30. Rate of fire is 3 a second. Tower range energy. So it's consuming 10 a second. So if you have 10 of them, you're burning 100 energy just looking at this thing. So, and this consumes 50. So your one level 2 wind turbine makes 24, so it can handle 2 of these. Or half of one of these. So that's the big gimme here with that. And that's the railgun is 50. Plasma tower takes 25. Railgun, where's my artillery? Artillery takes 1, which is not bad. Let's see, what can we repair? We can't do anything else with these, right? Right. So for the ammo problem, Sentinel towers do pretty good for the ammo problem because they don't cost anything to shoot, and yet they do, 60 damage 3 times a second, right? So they're doing 180 damage every second with no ammo cost. So you don't need ammo storage, you don't need tower factories because they don't need any of it. Now you do need those for the artillery, and let's see, the railguns are all energy. Railguns are energy. Plasma towers, pardon me, are energy. So these two, they're 25 a second, 25 a second. They hold, this one holds 154, or this local available. Does energy damage, What is the rate of fire on that? The rate of fire on that is 4 a second. This one is 0.2 a second. But it can cut through 32 targets. Loot container respawn. I don't know what that actually means. No idea. Respawning loot containers, maybe? Don't know. No idea. No idea what that is supposed to mean. I've seen it several times. So that's what interests me about that whole concept, is these take no ammo, right? The other big thing that you're going to use would be
completed.
Let's see, not flame towers, but acid spitter towers. Acid spitters require liquid, so you need, they have that upkeep of liquid from the tower factories, but they have stacking damage, right? Because it's shooting out little globs of acid, and when they hit, they stack. So if this stack is doing 50 a second, there's another stack on top of it doing 50 a second, and they don't last very long. I mean, they last just a second or two. But if you have 5 of them that land at the same time, it's 250 damage that it just did. So that's the other one you're going to use, right? Is these acid spitters, because they're high quality damage. One of my other favorite towers, long-term towers, is the minigun tower. Oh my goodness, so much to hear one of those things just go burr, burr, burr. They take low caliber ammo, but woof. And of course they consume the daylights out of it, right? It takes 1 bullet, but it's shooting 20 of them a second, which is ridiculous amounts, right? So they burn through the ammo, but it's so much fun to listen to them go off. The attack drone towers are good as well because they can hit flying targets. Artillery, if I was going to keep going or had more research time, you can do the heavy artillery towers, but I believe it requires stuff you're not going to get, right? Where is it? Upkeep needs super plasma, so you're not going to go past artillery 2. If you do, you're going to go to something like power rod towers. Have good range, do good damage, and don't have that super plasma requirement. HCM towers, the same difference. You're going to do, you know, they require flammable gas to fire. Power rod towers do not. It's just all energy for power rod towers. HCM towers require ammo. The power rod tower does as well. It requires 15 explosive bullets. And the HCM towers require 2 explosive bullets, and they do fire damage. You know, so the HCM towers might be worthwhile. Tower range is 25 to 120. They will not hit anything less than 25 away. Power rod towers have the same range. So I might try HCM towers at some point. And I know the attack drones are good. They're just expensive. The attack drones are expensive. They don't have huge upkeep. You know, it's only 4 energy. I wish you could get them a whole lot sooner than you can some of this other stuff, but you know, they do well. And of course, trident's my favorite thing. But you need some sort of backup. You need some sort of energy weapon to hit those things that resist physical damage, right? So you need something that's going to do anything. So I used plasma gun, which is not my favorite thing to use. Let's see, what is something else you could use instead of plasma guns? Let's see, root gun does physical damage, but a root gun can go underneath walls and stuff, which is always helpful. Lasers do energy damage, which is helpful. And of course you need a laser to unlock laser tower. I'm not a giant fan of the laser tower just because of its energy consumption. You know, it's consuming 50 and has no piercing, but it does build up damage over time, right? So they hit, it pierces 5 targets, the other one pierces 32. It hits and you can watch the beam get bigger and more intense as it does more and more damage. So, you know, the damage stacks up, but the energy consumption probably goes right along with it. So another option to deal with resistant to physical damage would be probably not the fire spewer. I'm not a big fan of the fire weapons. They just don't work. Mini nuke launchers work pretty well on a lot of stuff. Flame blade does not do physical damage, does fire damage. Remember that when you go and you make one on like the desert where everything's resistant, or the map with all the lava. I can't remember which one it is, but they're resistant to fire, and you'll be out there swinging that thing, going, "Why is it not working?" Well, now you know. Cryo spewers work to slow things down, but they don't stop things. Corrosive gun is a good choice because it does like the towers. You know, it's spewing out death and destruction. Let's see, what else is there? Acid spewer, which is better than the corrosive gun because I do believe it does more over time damage. 913, this one does, well, it's give or take, right? A lot of people that like swords will hit the advanced sword and then do laser swords, because a laser sword does energy damage, which a lot of stuff is not resistant to energy damage. So you run around with laser swords, swinging, having a grand old time. I prefer the trident, unfortunately. Immolator does big plasma explosions, which you can charge up. It's interesting, but has its limited uses, right? Flamethrower, never seen a use for that, unless you're going to go around and burn yeast colonies. But then you can get the same thing out of an immolator and have more use of the immolator. Pickaxe, some people like the pickaxe. I don't like it because when you swing it, you slow down. The hammer has the same problem. You swing it and you slow down, you know. But the hammers do so much more damage around them because they have splash damage, and splash damage is king of the hill a lot of times when you're trying, because you know there's multiple mobs, so splash damage, you know, gets you there. Heavy plasma gun, you know, if that's your thing. You know, high caliber small weapon, which you can get the burst rifle can be a fun toy. The high caliber rifle, which I believe can be charged up and fired, which is also fun. I mean, if you've got the time to build them, there are lots of options. But that is part of the name of the game, is options. You're not going to run into any one specific mob all the time, or you will run into that one specific mob all the time, but then there's going to be other ones, right? Like I had the little guys came up, they don't resist anything, one shot kills them, but then right behind them were the big rock dudes who are, you know, 90% resistant to physical damage. And then you need something else to hit them with. You need either an energy weapon or explosives, something. Laser swords, flame sword, anything that does something other than physical damage. Corrosive gun, that sort of stuff. But those are just my thoughts. You know, just a little run through of different types of stuff you can do here.